I think we're live now. Are we live, y'all? Russ, you see the word says live, right?
We are live, Mike. Let's do this thing. Come on.
Man, welcome to the show. First of all, thank you all for the overwhelming support. April Wyatt, thank you, my friend, for taking over last week when we were meeting. We met last Wednesday. We were in the car commenting to my show, which is a little weird for me, right? And I don't know, Russ, you and D. Scott's been doing this for a while. When your ratings and excitement get better when you're not there, that's a good thing in the Hounds, I think, because that's what we're all about, pushing people up. But it's a little bit like, okay, so don't worry if you all missed April Wyatt. Guess what? You get her again next week when I go Beverly Hillbillies 2.0 in LA for the first time. So you know it'll be live stream nonstop. So anyway, Russ, how are you, big dog?
Oh, doing so good, Mike. And I'm telling you that, April's amazing. So what do you think? I mean, she's going to just lift things up. You're going to get better. A rising tide lifts all ships, right? So you come together, get better. And it was a lot of fun sitting in the car next to you. We were both commenting on the show, and you commented there that, yep, Russ has to say that because he's next to me in the car. But it's just a lot of fun. And this is what I love about live streaming, coming together, just doing great things, getting a great message out there. And you are such a blessing, Mike. I'm just happy and honored to be on.
You know, when you say it, I believe it, Russ. You're a stand-up man. So I'll tell you what, this show is going to be action-packed. This is going to be fun. Folks, you know the drill. The right room, comment, ask questions. We'll do our best to get to it, right? We want to bring this piece back to you, and we've got a stellar panel back there. So without further ado, just let me give you all a real short intro. This is not a highlight reel. It's not a sales pitch. Here we're going to show pictures and excitement. But what I visioned this coming back from the amazing Podfest, it was a real conversation, kind of a continuation Hound style, right? About what actually happens and will happen for the Hounds of Business after Podfest. That's when the relationships, the momentum, the opportunities, man, sometimes they die after events like this. But over here, you already know it's going to multiply exponentially, right? So if you're watching live and you have a passion or a desire to build or grow a business or something great, movement, nonprofit, right? You want to make an impact, get that message out there, because I don't know any other way to do it, right? Get the message out there, land to the right people, and leave a legacy, right? One that outlives you, continues over and over again. Well, dadgummit, you come to the right place. This community, this room is for you. So drop comments, don't be shy, ask questions, connect, right? Have fun, man. This is 7 o'clock. Most of us have kids, we're cooking, have fun with this, y'all. So treat it like it is, a relaxed, high trust networking table where nobody's posture and everybody's real. So that's what we're all about, pushing people up, letting the results follow. Let's get into it. How about it?
That's right. Let's do it, Mike.
Let's do it. If I can find a dadgum butt. I was gone 1 week and I done forgot everything. Ain't that something? I'm so excited. Yep.
Are you looking to grow your network and your net worth with other high-level, heart-centered professionals? Then grab a seat and your favorite beverage and join Mike Asherbrenner, the Redneck Connector. It's time for the Hounds of Business Community Happy Hour.
All right, we're just going to open up the cattle doors, let them all run in. How about that? Let's do it. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Just raining awesome in here. Look at that. Boom. There's a parachute.
Rolling in.
Woo-wee. How are you all?
Rock and roll, brother. Rock and roll.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes. So, hey, take 20, 30 seconds. Go around the room. Uh-oh. Am I lagging?
No, you're good.
All right. Hey, take 30 seconds. We'll start over here to my left, go around the room, take 20, 30 seconds. Hey, what do you do? And we'll get this party started. Russ Hedge, go ahead, man. Maybe there's one person in the planet that hadn't met you yet. Let's tell them.
Well, hey, I am so blessed to be here. I am your inspiration specialist. I am an inspirational speaker. I am a marketing coach. I am a live streamer and podcaster, obviously, and an international best-selling author. I am here to inspire and encourage people to live a purpose-driven life of significance. What does that mean? I want you to be a world changer, a difference maker. Get out there, make amazing things happen. And because I'm right here with my good friend, Mike Asherbrenner, you know what? What could be better? So I'm all good.
Yeah, and I'm not paying him to say that, y'all. He spent a whole week with me and he's still excited. I must have grown as a guy, hanging around all these people in the hounds. It's proof, All right. So then we got Vanessa the Vivacious. I met her. See, like stray cat syndrome. I already brought 2 or 3 of them with me. Now you got started. You know it. So this lady is so awesome. We were privileged to spend the time with her. So tell people who you are, what you do, real quick.
Well, first off, you're just a meowsing. Just going to say that
Yeah,
right now,
love
straight
it.
out the bat. So my name, as you stated, is Vanessa the Vivacious. I am the executive producer and also the host of Humanity 2.0 podcast, inspiring one human at a time about humanity. It's my goal to create that Humanity 2.0 where we lead with empathy and compassion first. I'm also the CEO and founder for Vanessa the Vivacious Productions, where I breathe that vivaciousness into the clients I work with, whether it's film, video, podcast, creative consult, artist management. I'm a generalist, so I do it all. And it's my goal to elevate and give that vivaciousness to any client I work with. And that's me in a nutshell. And I always tell people, don't forget to be vivacious.
Y'all know how I roll. She was awesome first, and then when she started talking about what she did, I was like, oh wow, right? And so 2 for 1, PB and J, right? And then that leads us around the clock here to the one and only Wendy Brandt. See, I said that right. I can't get no other name right. You tell us who you are, then I'll delay the praise. I know you. So go ahead, Wendy.
Well, thank you very much. Hi, everybody. My name is Wendy Brandt. I am the director of Podfest Expo, which is how I met this amazing crew of people that I get to share this amazing stage with. Thank you for inviting me. Podfest Expo, if you're not familiar, we will be talking about it just a little bit today. But we just had our 12th Podfest Expo. So we'll be doing number 13 next year in 2027. I'm so already off. My years are already off because my big event just ended. So there you go. But we had the amazing opportunity to bring together almost 2,000 people under one roof, creators, inspirational folks, just everybody in every genre and every niche and every aspect of podcasting and YouTubing and video casting and creating networks and publishing and writing. And it was just such an amazing event. So that's me. I help run the show, and then I get to come and talk to you guys about it. So I'm here to answer your questions and maybe throw a goodie or two at your direction. So we'll see.
Hey, real quick, did you hibernate after that? Because if you look like you ran 6 marathons that week, you were on fire just constantly, and you had a smile, all right, but all of us have worked that hard, so we can fake it, right? We look good on the outside. Did you sleep a lot, or?
I vowed not to get out of bed until noon on Monday. So I woke up and I refused to get out of bed. And so my husband made me coffee and brought me coffee in bed so that I could not get out of bed before noon. So wasn't that the sweetest thing ever? And then, and you guys are lucky I'm not in a bathrobe still. So you're welcome.
You're on the hounds of business. It really wouldn't be a big deal. I mean, look who the host is. And that brings me to Michael Binko, right? So, Kevin Smith, Kindness Worldwide's brother-in-law, chief strategist, and brilliant man. I had the privilege of meeting you and Kevin for the first time. Take it away.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mike, and the hounds. Nice to be on here again. Great to meet Mike in person for the first time at Podfest. So, Wendy, thanks for putting a great event that could make that happen. I saw him without the hat on for the first time. So around the pool, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. That was actually Mike. So I'm a serial entrepreneur, kind of from tech communities, cloud computing, cybersecurity, and now working on some programs around AI and quantum. I'm also a co-founder of a national group that was Startup America. So think of the concept of an ecosystem of support for entrepreneurs that are mostly earlier stage than mature, and helping them navigate those bootstrapping to ramp up stages and kind of inflect their business forward. But as Mike mentioned, I'm here on behalf of Kindness Worldwide, a new nonprofit that spun up in the last 1.5 years, 2 years, after a random act of kindness that our founder, Kevin Smith, was the recipient of. And it kind of blew his mind that people are actually still doing the things they're doing around kindness. And he basically launched a global initiative to bring kindness to communities around the world. So looking forward to catching up. This was my first Podfest as well. And was surprised I was able to connect with Wendy on her calendar today earlier, and looking forward to next year as well, and some activities in between.
Oh, and real quick, You know, at some point, I guess because I like to go and help people and they reciprocated Podfest, I kind of feel like Redneck Elvis. So when I needed a break, I would, you know how Clark Kent in the 80s movie where he'd take his glass and you're like, wait a minute, how did they not? It worked. I took my hat, my vest off, and I was just some random guy. It was silly. And so I was like, hey, who
Dropped
knew?
right into the witness protection program just that fast.
Mike actually
Right.
called a bro code offense on me because I kind of saw him across the pool. But I wasn't sure it was him. I kind of waved and he waved, and then he was with someone, so I was like, I'm heading inside.
Right. I'm like, hey, when you're waved over, there's a purpose. He just like, hello. I'm like, no, it was a signal to come here and hang with us. So I'm going to give them a crash course. All right. So and that brings me not, but certainly not least, the man who really just done an amazing job, brought a lot of us together. I mean, really got the spark going. Then he put together the transportation and we stayed together at KOA. I mean, man, yeah, bless you. Hey, well deserved. You put this together. You didn't complain, and you blessed a lot of people. You blessed people that you'll never know you blessed, brother. So go ahead. The floor is yours.
Well, as I said, you guys had a great attitude because I told you we were going to leave that cabin at 7 a.m. and we were going to come back not earlier than 11, probably closer to midnight. And poor Russ, he was like a wet towel. We had to roll him up at the end of the night and carry him out
like a blanket.
But then he was all animated in the morning, and guess who was the wet towel in the morning? Mike. Yeah. Russ is banging on his door. Time to get up. Let's go. And but yeah, I don't want to do any promotion because this is not the time for that, right? I mean, you don't want to do any promotion for the stuff, but so yeah, I'm let's see, what am I? I'm the motivational listener, and I am the world's foremost authority on being a motivational listener because, like Tigger, I'm the only one. The main goal, and if you say, what does it mean to be a motivational listener, is that if Wendy and I are having a conversation, my goal as the motivational listener, that for her, my goal is for her to leave that conversation feeling better about herself than before we started the conversation. And there's a lot of brain science that goes behind this. But as it says in my LinkedIn profile, I believe one conversation can change your life or change your business. I challenge anyone to schedule a call with me and prove me wrong, because I know we can do that. And when my kids asked, what do I do? Because I've been on my own doing this, whatever it is I do, since 2013-ish. And I said, I think of things and people pay me for it. And so that's the easiest way to do it. There's, we've got a nonprofit that focuses on high school students that are interested in trades as a career. When the eclipse went coast to coast, I told people, my clients, hey, there's money to be made on the path of totality. I said I should take my own advice. Got together with a friend, and eclipse classes were the big thing. We did classes too, but I was in Oregon at the time. We did pint classes, pub pints. Had a friend make up the logo and put that on there, and then an infographic on the back. I'd take them to pubs and restaurants and backyard parties and sell them by the case. And I'd show the front part with the logo and say, hey, we got these eclipse glasses. But not only in the Northwest do we like to drink beer. And I turn around, show them the infographic, say, and we're smart. And so I don't know. We got another thing going right now. There's another software as a service, a reminder service called presentgifting.com that is just about ready to release. And oh my word, it is so cool. It's all about saying that relationships are important and moments matter. Gifts are just a tangible reminder of that relationship. And wouldn't it be great if there was someone that reminded you of those important events? So present gifting, you put in the important people, you put on the important events, you get gentle reminders to say, hey, Scott, don't forget your anniversaries in 6 weeks. And there's an
cheaper
AI
than
intake.
cheaper than marital.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah. And so it's just way cool. AI intake. You just say, oh yeah, my wife's birthday's on this day, and we got that. And oh yeah, we celebrate Mother's Day. And anyway, life is good. I say, and I'll say this is the last thing. This is absolutely the best time ever to be alive. Because the barrier to entry is just your willingness to participate. You want to write a book, you want to publish a book like Russ, life happens and then you choose. You just do it. You don't need to find an agent or a public. You just write the book and you publish it. You want to do, you have things that you want to say audibly, then do it. You want to be an actor, you want to get visual, do it. Anytime. There is nothing holding you back except your willingness to jump into the pool.
Hey, amen. And by the way, these guys get up before the rooster. The rooster's yelling at them with me. Like, come on, man. Like 4 a.m. Come on, dude. You're West Coast time. That's insane. All right. And I love the way, man, I love the way Scott knocked on the door and said, "Where are you?" And my first response is, "Well, I'm in here." And I thought, oh, that's his nice way of saying, "Hurry the hell up." Okay. So, man, I could have went forever. All right. So let's get this party started. Appreciate you all. Just a kind of a quick round robin. We'll start over with Russ. This was not your first Podfest, correct?
This was my first.
No kidding, man. You act like a seasoned pro. That's because D. Scott gave us boot camp, got us ready. So, yeah. Russ, what were you hoping to get out of it, man, before you went?
Well, because I'm all about connection and community building. I love people. I wanted to meet more people and see some amazing people that I knew super well, like Mr. Mike Asherbrenner, but I had never met in 3D, as my good friend Scott would say. And so such an amazing time. And that was my number one goal. My number two goal was to just learn, soak stuff up. I mean, we've been doing this for a long time. Scott and I are on year 6 of the Experience Live with Russ and Scott. I'm going to celebrate 600 episodes of Marketing with Russ coming up here in March. And so I've done it for a while, but you know what? The longer I do it, the more I realize, the more I still need to know. And so there's so many people that just really helped fill some holes in, and it was amazing. SEO is a big thing that both Scott and I were looking at, helping with things with all that. So knowledge and people, and it was amazing. I'm telling you, I just had a great time.
You already knew I was going to ask you how you prepared. I mean, we came with Scott, so we were fairly prepared. Thank goodness, because you know how people say, don't try to eat the elephant in one bite. Podfest to me was like trying to eat the whole zoo, man. Like, oh wow, I could have went for weeks and still not scratched the surface. It was amazing. And so, well, let's go to Michael Binko. We'll go to Michael Binko. So your first Podfest for sure, correct?
Yes, it was. And I Wendy, you might be able to calibrate this, but I think Kindness Worldwide might have been the last organization kind of on the docket. So, big up to Wendy and the Podfest team.
Amazing.
We were invited to do one of our VIP screenings for a documentary film that Kindness Worldwide put together in the last 6 or 9 months for such a time as this. And even before that, we got into town the day and a half ahead of time. And from person one, I would say every attendee at Podfest is genuine, is the term that I would basically say. And, from a perspective of someone who builds ecosystems, there is often the counterpoint to ecosystem, which is ecosystem. And you would, you kind of would expect coming to a Podfest where everybody there is an influencer in their ecosystem. Ego's bigger than, you could imagine. Not the case. Oh. These folks are genuine. If you had a question about podcasting or content or creative, they would basically roll out their perspectives and their experiences, unlike many ecosystems that I've had the opportunity to run in. And, I would say, Kevin and I both attended, and, the biggest takeaway was, as we start to look at manifesting kindness worldwide beyond our first communities in York, Pennsylvania, and then we have ambassadors around the globe, but we're probably at around 2025. We really are intending this to be something that can go international. And, as we kind of went through the Podfest experience at the expo, we started to realize, like, in every community, there's podcasters or streamers that, whether they're focused on that physical community or they have a virtual community that they engage, they probably are the best folks that exhibit gratitude, kindness, the concept of ecosystem that make them thrive. So a thought trace kind of came to us as we were taking the flight back is like, I wonder if the Podfest community might want to rally around this concept of kindness in their communities. So we have some stuff that we're thinking about there, but I'll leave it at that. Maybe we can jump into it a little later.
Russ is love bombing, so I got to love bombing back. That's a reciprocity principle that I was overwhelmed with. I haven't went to the gas station in 2 months, so I fly out to Orlando. I'm sitting around like I'm a hermit, and all of a sudden it's just nonstop. And you know what? The excitement, adrenaline, I don't know, but it hasn't stopped yet. I'm still excited about life and things. Yeah, look at Vanessa, like absolutely. So I'm not going to be silly and ask Wendy if it's her first podcast. We'll get back to her. I know D. Scott's going, it's a 50-50 shot. He'll ask her that. So Vanessa, oh my goodness. Right. So from the first text that you sent the group, I said, we're going to get along. I text that back.
Yes, you did.
So this was not your first rodeo. Is that right?
No, sir. It definitely was my first rodeo, first Podfest ever in the history of me. So just get ready for a gushathon, Wendy. I am so grateful to you and your team and to every single human being that contributed to Podfest, whether they were an attendee or a speaker or a workshop leader. I did not prepare because I thrive on non-preparation and just diving deep into whatever it is that I'm going into. And so I was sponsored to come by Podmatch. I had expressed interest. They had a lottery of tickets and I found a flight. I'm in Texas. I found a flight and they said, hey, if you get a way over, let us know and we'll put you in consideration for tickets. And so I looked it up online, found $100 flight round trip. I booked it immediately before I even had the ticket. And so I got the ticket and I was expecting like some general admission, and Podmatch was so tremendously kind in giving me that VIP creator experience. And it was insanimals. Like it, oh my goodness. I remember feeling the energy in that place and just how welcoming, like Binko said, how welcoming it was and how genuine people were. And I've been to really big conventions like Adobe Max, which is huge and massive. And similarly, there is so much awesome content and people to listen to and observe. But what I found that was a different kind of angle or a different kind of feeling at Podfest was that there was just so much love and so much collaborative effort and respect for everyone. I did not meet any person that talked to me in a certain way or, that presumed that I wasn't who I was or that I hadn't done what I did have done. And so I just remember, like, one of my favorite memories is walking around just looking for people to talk to. And I see this guy named Kyle who works for a production company, and he has his laptop out. And so I kind of circled around and put my stuff down just to put my stuff down. But then I see that he's working in Adobe Premiere, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's do this. And so we just started nerding out on Adobe Premiere and talking about his show and teaching each other stuff. And this happened several times throughout Podfest. I remember pulling out my phone and my audio gear, because I never leave home without audio gear or some kind of, thing to start recording or filming something. And I pull out my audio gear, which is Rode, of course, and I start interviewing people, asking them, why are they at Podfest? What's your show? And then I'm Humanity 2.0 podcast. So I'm like, what's your message to humanity? And gathering these little snippets. I got to interview one of the speakers, James Krillin, and that was amazing. And then just various attendees that I've talked to, since. And it was just so awesome to receive their messages as very authentic people. And of course, as you know, podcasters want to talk all the time, right? And so they were just so welcoming, and it didn't feel pressured because it was audio, and I just took a quick snapshot to make audiograms. So it was beautiful. I was so thankful. And I would say, like, from maybe within the first hour, I was already inspired to apply for next year to be a speaker. I just wanted to share anything and everything that I possibly could. And I definitely did during that event with people, but also just receiving, such blessings. And then, like you said, when I messaged you guys and I said, hey, who's carpooling from the airport? Because your sister here don't want to pay $50 if I don't have to for a Lyft. And then Scott messages and he's like, well, I'm driving from Texas. And I'm like, well, we're just about kin because I'm in Texas too. And so he offers to pick me up from the airport, and then we're driving around and he's like, okay, here's Russ. And Russ is like, get out of the car. And it's because he wants to take a group photo. So that was fun. And then we get back in, and then we're driving around and he's like, all right, you're going to yell Mike when I opened the window. And so I'm like, please, dear Lord, baby Jesus, don't let there be 6 mics standing there at the pickup area. And luckily there was just one. But I remember you turning and looking at me like, who are you and why are you yelling my name, and just kind of waving. And then like from that moment on, it felt like a little family, and you guys were so amazing at taking care of me because I was at a different hotel. And so picking me up every day, and then leading to the very last day when the rest tied my tie for me, just all of these amazing things. You guys are just super awesome. And it was a blessing to meet you and to know everyone. And like I tell every single person, like when you come into my life, you're in my life forever. And that's just the way it is. So Podfest was out of this world. And I look forward to next year.
You have that in common with Russ. Russ is lifelong connector. He says you're stuck with him for the rest of your life.
Hey,
nice.
Beyond.
Well, and by the way, all the hounds, friends of the hounds, I'm not the only excited one. Everybody's like, what's he on? No, it's just exciting, isn't it? I mean, it's just, you can't, it's a lot. So, okay, now we'll go and ask Wendy a question that makes sense. Wendy, if you don't mind, and you could take liberty here, was there anything this year that maybe pleasantly surprised you, or that you were like, hey, we tried something and thank God that worked? Or was there anything that kind of stood out this year that was a little bit different last year's, or was it just an elevation of just the better?
Well, we're always looking to grow and expand. And I think that is part of what makes Podfest really, really special, is that people don't realize, but when they come to us and they say, hey, we're really seeing that there could be a need for X, Y, Z. And we say, great, what does that look like? And help us create a space for that if it's something that we feel will be of value for all the attendees. So I wanted to circle back really quickly, though. I wanted to let you guys know that I was 7 or 8 years ago, and also knew nothing, knew nobody, and decided to start a podcast, and went to this little meetup in Tampa, Florida, that happened to be run by a man named Chris Kermitzos, who is our founder of Podfest. And I went to a meeting at an IHOP, and now I run the event. So to say that I've been through this journey from a lot of different iterations is an understatement. And so I come at this place and space from every angle, from being the person that didn't really even know how to explain what a podcast was to people who didn't know 8 years ago, versus now how to tell people what a podcast is when they're like, well, isn't that YouTube? And all the things in between. And so my first Podfest was 2 months after that very first IHOP meeting. And my husband and I decided to splurge and buy VIP tickets.
Oh,
I know, for 2.
Man, a boy can dream. That may be next year. Yeah.
They got a deal. And we said, boy, we will never not get VIP again, because it was quite amazing. You just find yourself standing next to. I will say, though, this Podfest, they're always amazing. To be able to connect with you guys, Mike and I just kind of continued to say, we'll connect. I promise we'll connect. And the universe puts people in your path that whenever you need it. And I don't know what this seed is, but we connected, and it was like, wow. Then I got to watch the movie, and I got to meet Kevin and Mike. And now I said, can we bring this to Podfest? I don't know what we can do with it. I have a spot and a screen. Let's see what happens. And that's what we did. And I don't know if we'll be able to do it again or not, but we had a spot and a screen. And if it touched 40 people's hearts, then that's amazing. But having you all there was what was really amazing, because that ended up being the thing that brought everybody together. So, yeah.
No, finish up.
Oh, no. So I just think that that's the amazing piece. And the thing that's most important to me is that I think, Mike, you might even be able to explain this. I think you and I spoke on the phone, and I said, I can tell you what Podfest is like, but you really don't understand until you've been there. So I'm going to tell you, and I'll explain it. And it's going to be like drinking from that fire hose, and you're going to be overwhelmed, but it's going to feel amazing. And then, you really will come back for the family reunion, and people are like, okay, whatever. But boy, when they get there, they come up to me and they say, you're so right. And you really still can't explain it until you've experienced it. So I hope that everybody listening will be able to come and experience our Podfest, and bring your friends and come together as a group. And we're hoping to get you guys some space and be able to meet as a group together. There's just so much we can do.
real quick, I promised that we would give takeaways that people can use. These are very simple takeaways too. What I heard you saying, and all of us say, Wendy, is you said yes. You could have been like, well, I'm too busy to just show up for this, talk to this guy, blah, blah, blah. And boy, would have missed the opportunity. And by the way, when we got done, and Michael, I'll let Michael Binko, because Kevin couldn't make it, but he wrote a letter, and I want to read that before we close here soon. But that was amazing that, it was like somebody took Podfest and sifted out the 40 that belonged with Kindness Worldwide. It was amazing. And it was just, and that's when we met Zach, right? And so it was absolutely just amazing. I mean, you try to find your tribe. So folks, stop saying yes and no to stuff that you don't know the answer to. In other words, get the information, talk, have the conversation, show up to the event, and then say yes or no. That's what I did that. I stayed an amateur for a long time because I would say no before I got the info to know what the hell I was saying yes and no to. And I'm not preaching. I'm just saying that's part of winning. A lot of you all out there want to figure out how to do this, and that's it. Keep saying yes, check things out. Then she could have said no, but she checked it out and said yes. So get up there. Opportunity won't plop its ass on the couch is what I'm trying to say. All right, go out there and get it. And if I can fly to Orlando, that was scary for me. Look at this. I was, and y'all laughed at me when I showed up, right? Because I said, okay, people are walking in walls, TV screens are flicking. I didn't know you had to get the tram across to get off the airplane and get out of the airport. GPT, where were you on that one, buddy? 50 hours of anyway. So I want to go here. I'm going to show these pictures. I might go back to them because there are some key points and some lessons that, wow, absolutely life-changing for me and others. But on this note, all right, we're going to start with Russ. Arrival stories, man. I want to hit this. You're West Coast and you spent so was there anything on the way there, just in a few seconds, that was funny, noteworthy? Did a kid stare at you on the airplane the whole ride? Like anything like that? Anybody want to chime in on this? Because, the comedy act, they talked about that and I thought that was hilarious.
So anything funny on the long flight out, you're saying?
Yeah, because we didn't even get to talk about it. We were just excited to be there. Was there anything on the way there that was funny, or did it go smooth? Anybody have a weird flight, Russ?
No, it was, for me, it was pretty much just a quiet flight. So, yeah. And after Podfest, after drinking from the fire hose, I slept on the whole flight home. But no, I have no funny stories from the flight. Sorry. Everybody was really nice around me.
Did anyone?
Well, I was a camel. I mean, I carried so much stuff. I had a backpack full of gear, which I love. And then I had a suitcase full of clothes. I didn't really know what was in there. So it was a surprise to me, just as it was everybody else. And then when I went home with so much stuff. So I had books and magazines and all kinds of wonderful stuff that they gave away, and I couldn't close my suitcase. I sat on it and I couldn't close it. So when I went home, I was like, yeah, I think that suitcase is done. But the flights were cool, and TSA was like, oh yeah, just go. I don't know what's going on there, but it was awesome.
Oh, I second that. We were having such a good time. That guy asked me when we were out with Kevin and Zach and everybody, and he said, how do you feel? I said, you remember that Ice Cube song, Today's a Good Day? I said, I felt like that. And guess what? Me, Zach, Kevin, Michael is in the back. The guys driving, and we're singing that song on the way to somewhere else. It was just phenomenal. I'm usually a grumpy old man and I got to go to bed on time, but I forgot the whole week. I didn't care about sleep, right? I was good. So nobody had
every word to the song. And that was Oakley was our host driving us around town.
Thank you. I was like,
shout out to Oakley.
Oakley is wow. He's a great man. He really did. And boy, he has the best cigars, man. So lots of formal things. And then the after parties and the after events are just as powerful. So I'm going to move on. All right. What struck you the most is kind of what I want to talk about. What did internal shifts and external, right? There's a lot of things I've noticed for me and others that happen inside of us, right? And that's not woo woo. That's if you don't believe in yourself and your mission, how can you expect more people to believe in it? I learned that early on the hard way. So on that note, right, there's things like confidence. I've had folks from Podfest join HOB. Just, we did networking. Had, Pollyanna was there. And there were so many things. So anybody wants to just chime in, share, hey, what was that? Some internal shifts and things that helped you become a better person, right? Your best self. And also external things like wow, that happened. You know, like this person made a connection, or this person said, hey, come on my show. I know, Vanessa, you interviewed some people on the spot. It was like boom, right? Like Married in Vegas kind of stuff. So
let me throw one thing out there. And Podfest is remarkable. Not everyone can go to Podfest. Not everyone will go to Podfest. However, everyone is going to be going to events of some sort. And a buddy, Brian Fanzo, said it best. And he said, social media turns handshakes into hugs. And so before you go to any event, so if there's a hounds business and you're going to meet people, you're already connected with them. You've already built a relationship, and take the time through social media to connect with people, because when Ashley Brainer and I met at the airport, it wasn't, well, hello, Mike, shake hands, right? I mean, it's a deep embrace, right? That's the difference. And that's what we experience. So everyone reach out and connect with people. And just briefly, I gave a talk at the Social Media Summit, Dublin, Ireland, 2016. And deep experts on social media, Facebook ads and Snapchat for business and whatnot. My talk was on the psychology and physiology of relationships. Looking at the academic research, proved that the relationships that we create digitally can be just as strong as those that we create face-to-face. Mm-hmm. Then in March of 2020, we went into a global laboratory and proved that to be true.
Can I add a small piece to this? Yeah. So I just want to let you know, community is so important. And obviously when you come to Podfest, again, that's something that I try and tell everybody, but you can't see it until you actually show up and really understand when I say you're part of the community as well. But that is so important to us, because podcasters, a lot of times you guys are in the business community. So you're a little bit probably more used to maybe getting in front of and meeting people and extending that hand, Scott, like you're saying, just putting yourself out there, saying yes. But a lot of times folks, podcasters tend to be pretty introverted depending on what they're doing. And so it's really important for us at Podfest to try and connect folks in as many ways as we possibly can. So for us, like you guys having meetings as we're building up to Podfest next year, I'm sure you will start to have meetings like, hey, who's all going? And then be able to join together to be able to have those moments where you show up at the airport and have never seen anybody in person, but you know who each other are, and everybody jumps in the car, because that's amazing. So we do those also. We do them through Zoom calls. We have all sorts of things, because we want, and our Facebook group and all the things. So, because we want you to have that community before you even get there. If you don't want to show up a stranger, you don't have to. So you'll have family before you even get there, even if you've never met them within this group or any of the other many groups. But that's what Podfest is founded on. And that's exactly what we're talking about. So is being part of that before you even get there.
Just a few minutes, because I have to open this door. All right, then we got to jump in, and I want to make sure I read Kevin's letter, and you guys don't leave. You get to see something. I asked permission. Okay, Kevin is who Kevin looks like. Man, he is a great guy. But the funniest thing happened. I even asked him. I said, Kevin, no, that actually happened. I didn't stage that. Okay, so stay tuned. Cliffhanger. But here's one of the things that, if you want to jump in on this, folks, the Hounds is all about bug zapping, not dog catching. That means attracting, right? Pushing people up, the right people, doing things and giving them the space and the clarity if they want to help you back, right? Ping pong, right? I do this. I don't expect it. If I expect it, it's a contract. But otherwise, I just love on the right people, right? So to me, one of the biggest things was mind-blowing. There's a huge room with thousands of people that are being invited. So even if you're a little shy, or maybe you're just kind of there, it didn't take long. Somebody's going to come up and move you to a crowd. It was just the most miraculous thing, right? Like maybe you're nervous, maybe you're shy. Oh no, that's not going to last, right? And we did it for each other. Newbies were there, and really the most welcoming environment that I've probably ever seen. I know it's a big statement, but it's got to be. I mean, and to me, that's very important, because that's who we are as the Hounds, right? People who have the passion to be somebody, do something special. They want to go out there and help folks, but they need the people, resources, and support. And my goodness, again, I didn't know that this was created before the Hounds, called Podfest, right? Like, so anybody want to elaborate on that? Because I have never felt that kind of sincerity in pushing people up. And
so Mike,
wow, go.
I'm going to jump in and say absolutely. And I think it's because everybody's kind of there in the same place, looking to really connect and really, really lift each other up and really come together. And it was super inviting. You're right. And not only was it great to see people that, like Scott said, that I'd created virtual relationships with and known for years, some friends there that I'd known for like 6-7 years. And then suddenly first time I'd seen them in 3D. And so that was amazing. But the new people, I mean, as soon as we got there, Wendy was like on it. She was smiling. She was helping us right off the bat, and it was just amazing. And so the environment they create immediately, Andrew comes up to me right away because I've known Andrew for years, but never met him in person either, even though he's from Oregon and just down the street from where I live. It was an amazing environment. And I just wholeheartedly recommend anybody come in, especially people that are introverts, because that helps them all the more.
Yeah, I think that what they reflect and what they say about, it's a family. You really do feel that family when you get there, from the minute you get there, and you're just welcomed with this, massive group. I had no idea that there was like 2,000 people. I had no idea, but they just all seemed so familial, and everyone was so kind and giving. And just kind of to dovetail from that last question you asked about shifts, sometimes you're in your space, in your creative bubble, whatever your profession is, and you're like, okay, here's what I know and here's what I expect to learn, based on what I know. And I had to make myself kind of stop that and just say, you know what, open yourself to everything here and everyone here, and just absorb what knowledge and love that they have to share, and just really take advantage of all of it, because it was in abundance. There was so much, and every single person was just amazing. Like I feel like it's amazing, Podfest. Everyone was just amazing.
Okay. I have to do this because I am scared to death that I'm not going to be able to get this message out. Moving to because so much. I mean, we can go on for hours, no exaggeration. But we're not. We're going to say, hey, we're going to give Wendy a chance for her to let you know how to plug in, because, I mean, goodness gracious. So real quick, having the chance and the opportunity, see kindness worldwide, right? It's like a lot of things. And I don't say this to preach. I say this because I know how you feel. I felt this way. And when somebody comes up with an idea that's new, right, it's hard to get a lot of buy-in sometimes, right? And so it's funny to me when people say, well, how did you get with kindness worldwide and Kevin? And the God's honest truth, there's a lot of factors, but one of those main factors is that I believed in them before a lot of people did, right? And that's the kind of spirit we were talking about at Podfest, right? Like you could be, successful and well-known, but you can be an unknown, and everybody's get a shot. And that's very important. So it was an honor and a privilege to be able to go up there and, share that with the folks. It was a tiring day. It's very exhausting. You're running around doing a lot of great stuff. And it was just really nice. And then even when we took a delay for question and answers, nobody left. They were like, we're going to ask questions whether you ask us to or not. And that was a very good sign. So we had a great time, as I just showed on the picture screen. Before I go into Kevin's letter, and then the funny thing I promised y'all, anybody want to elaborate? Michael, we'll start with you, because again, we had it planned out. We were going to MC and ask some questions, right? Just keep it informal. But the push-up mentality, you're like, let me do it so you can go on stage with Kevin, because you helped, push this up, the last year and a half when it was early stage. Yeah. And I'm glad you did, because when I spoke, at one point I said something and I thought, oh, sweet Jesus, don't say that. And then I told myself, shut up. You're going to say it because that's what they need to hear. You share this, it's going to impact people. I didn't do it for a clap. I did it because that's what someone did for me, right? And that was the motivation. It wasn't forced. It was, I think people felt permission. Like they just felt like, oh, I'm not alone in this. Like Kevin, the last thing Kevin needed was to go out and spend time and money on spreading kindness. I mean, let's get real. The guy he's doing all right. But he did it. And that's inspirational to lots of people. And so the feedback we got on there was extraordinary. And I'll stop rambling. Mike, what was your take on this? Because this was brilliant, Michael.
Well, thank you, Mike, and Wendy as well. I mean, allowing us to kind of screen newly minted, hot off the press documentary. For those who aren't familiar with it, I think the Hounds are probably the streamcast community that probably has seen the most of it. Mike also doing the screening online. So For Such a Time as This is the name of the film. And I see Randy McNeely, Captain Kindman, in the comments here, one of our cast members. Randy actually coined the term in Palermo, Sicily, during the World Kindness Congress that Kevin was invited to deliver a speech to. And, it's really to the point of lifting others up is so necessary now, right? I talk about ecosystem or ecosystem. There's no middle ground here, guys. You either got to reach out and help somebody up or allow to be helped up, or we're not making through this thing as well as we can. So my small role in the film was kind of pointing out the ecosystem conjecture, as I call it, is what if, but why not, right? And I think the one attitude that I absorbed and wasn't expecting it is that all of these attendees at the Podfest Expo are living out the why not, really. What they're doing is inspiring communities, educating communities, asking questions in their communities, and really helping others kind of find a path forward that they might be struggling with. And, Mike, I wanted you to be on the stage with Kevin because you were one of the first people that we consider, a streaming podcast influencer to really lean in on kindness worldwide. And that's why you're now an ambassador. And, as we kind of fumble our own way through a bootstrap of a nonprofit with a global ambition, you took the time to reach down and lift our organization up. And right here in the heart, man, that's what it's all about.
Oh, man. Well said, brother. Well said. And folks, I will be putting these on our YouTube and LinkedIn. So you go back to this feed, Wendy and Podfest. They got so many things. They have recordings that you can go back and really absorb the information. It was a great info. I even understood the AI stuff, y'all. Like, come on, man. Like, yeah, I was blown away. I was like, did I just comprehend that? So, folks, seriously, we'll be putting all this everywhere, and just pop in on me, LinkedIn, Redneck One. Go to our Hounds of Business channel on YouTube. Send a carrier pigeon. I'll send it back. There's so many resources, guys, that you can tap into now and later. And these are the most innovative folks. So real quick, wanted to make sure before I went on and on that you all had this opportunity, right? Maybe you came and you want to continue the conversation, right? The tailgate parties, I call it. Maybe, you didn't get to make it for some reason, but you like birds of a feather, right? You want to keep going. You want to be in the right rooms. Well, D. Scott Smith, man, Global Tea Break. He said, hey, how about we plan ahead? And we did it. And so Wendy's going to be there with us, Hounds of Business, Global Tea Break, Alan Hennessy. All are welcome. Now, be careful. If you go to our page on LinkedIn, there's a form there. All right. So it's not going to be streamed live. Okay. It's going to be a close-knit thing like we like to do. That's where trust and safety comes first, right? You get to open up more when you're not live streaming a lot of times. And but yeah, go to our LinkedIn page and we will hook you all up from here to Sunday. If you can't find it, DM me. As you can tell, I'm excited. I'm good. So I'm happy to share it. All right. So let me get to this because I promised John I don't want to stretch it too much. So we go out. This is the day after. And Kevin got to meet and help me, Russ. I'm with names. Zach
Demopoulos.
There you go. Thank you, Russ. D. Scott. See, one and the same. But
I answer to Russ often. So,
all right, I'm going to say it. We all have that person we meet rarely in life where we're like, okay, that's kind of what I'm gunning for, right? If somebody who is successful, down the earth, and Zach was that guy for me. He really was. He was I said, wow, look at there you go. That's what I'm aiming for, right? Humble guy. So we all go out. We had the privilege and blessing of hanging out with some great folks, Kindness Worldwide, right? Zach interviewed him right there on the spot, for his community. So we're having a blast, right? Well, yeah, Kindness Worldwide was started because Kevin Smith lost his wallet, right? And on a Good Friday morning. And as I always say, looked like he lost his mind, right? And so he goes in a wild goose chase and then kindness is spread. Here's the fun part. Right? You ready for it? Drum roll. That happened, y'all. That happened. So we get up to you. If you can't see the picture clearly, it's on his face. I said, oh my goodness, sweet baby Jesus. He almost left his wallet again.
I was gonna say, Mike, we would have found out when we got to the airport, right?
Oh man. You know what? I gotta say this and I'll let everybody chime in. First of all, I said, hey, Kevin, was that on purpose? He said, no, it wasn't staged. And then he went to the car after this. This was funny enough. As we laughed to the car, he says, where's my backpack? And I said, oh, my goodness, don't lose. If you lose your backpack, now we're going to have to start the happiness movement. And I can barely keep up with the kindness one, dude. Wait a minute. So that happened. You can't make this up. I love that picture. And I asked him permission, the humble man. Said, go for it, have fun with it. But Michael, is this, we got to get him either a big chain like they wore in the 90s.
There you go, the Harley Davidson chain, yeah. So,
or Flavor Flav, like on his necklace.
You wear it on the front. I mean, it is. I don't know if anybody's a Seinfeld fan, but there's an episode where George Costanza, gets a back pain because his wallet's so thick. Kevin, I'm gonna cut that thing in half, and he can put it in each back pocket so he doesn't lose. At least he has one of them. But no, it fell out as he was getting out of the booth. Honest to God.
And he showed me that wallet, and he said it's the same wallet. And Mike, the same thing when he pulled it out of his pocket to show me. And I'm thinking, take some of the stuff out of there, dude. Right? You're going to give yourself back pain. I'm doubled over just looking at it.
That's the George Costanza wallet, right?
Absolutely, you got it.
When I met him, and he didn't have. Well, no, I'm pretty sure he had his wallet at the time when I met him. So, but he was just the coolest guy, and I just realized that. Oh yeah, I met Kevin. So that's amazing. And it's kind of like that adage, with your mom or your mama tells you, like, you're lucky your head's attached, otherwise you'd lose it.
That's exactly right.
Michael, we'll call his wife and then say, clean out those receipts from 1999, man. You go lighten that load on that wallet. All right.
Well, you know what it's full of? It's full of kindness cards. So he invented this concept where it says, like, I see the good in you. And it's like a business card. And he hands it out to people when he sees them doing kind acts. And then that led to kind of citations that police departments are giving out instead of parking tickets or speeding violations. So wouldn't you want your law enforcement community to kind of be giving out celebrating kindness from the people that are doing it in the community every day? So those are the types of things we want to kind of amplify.
Now we know what the York police are actually doing. Always trying to find his wallet, man. Go out those reports. All right. We love you, Kevin, man. Thank you for letting us air this and have fun. It was tremendous. Let me read this from Kevin, and we'll end up wrapping up here in a little bit, folks. I mean, this was going to be fun. We could have a part 60 and not get to it. So, Kevin, here's your letter, folks. Kevin only speaks from the heart, y'all. So, and hopefully I copied this right. Uh-oh. Somebody save me. What happened to the letter?
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Say something.
Well, he's looking for that.
Live stream, yay.
Well, he did that. Let me just put another plug in for Podfest and say, first of all, that the organizers, everybody that's involved with Podfest, deeply intelligent people, have wonderful souls. They are good people. They still selected me to speak, which was one of those things. But don't judge them; they do good work. And if you are interested, one of the things I recommend is get involved in the events that are going on during the year. They have Pod Tour that's going around, and you can host that locally. Just reach out to Wendy and say, "Look, I've got a spot. I'd like local podcasters or people that are interested in podcasts to come to my space, and
we have a meetup.
Let's just talk about it and get it on the schedule." That's one way you can be involved. Host a pod tour.
And actually, Scott, and I don't know, Mike, if this is a good time. I know you wanted to read your letter from Kevin. So do you want me to promote? I have some goodies for folks that are here. So I wanted to share what I have. You want to read?
Go ahead. I have the letter, but this is good, perfect timing. I don't want them to.
So if someone, I couldn't log in to StreamYard through YouTube, so I can't join in the chat. So that's why I haven't been chatting with you guys in the general chat. I'm so sorry. I logged in under my Podfest account and I couldn't pull up this as Podfest. So in the private chat, if one of you guys can go in and get all the links that I just dumped into the private chat and then copy and paste them and put them in the main chat, that would be amazing. Yes. So what I wanted to share with you all is that for the first time this year, we are offering the replays to Podfest from this year that just happened to everybody. So you don't have to have been there to buy the replays. We sometimes do that and we sometimes don't. So this year we're offering it up to everybody. They are now on sale to the general public. You do need to give us about 4 weeks to get them edited and uploaded and things. But here's the amazing thing. Those video recordings of everything that you missed, every session that you missed this year, also includes a bonus creator pass for next year. So the price of the recordings for this year will get you in as a creator for next year. There is never a cheaper price than this deal. I promise. There's also never a cheaper time to, I think the VIP upgrade is on there too. This is the cheapest that we ever do anything. And it's normally only for folks who are at the event. So we're opening it up a little bit for you guys to be able to get this out there. So I wanted to let you know that. Then you can also apply to speak. We went ahead and opened up our speaking applications. So those are open. We will be doing rolling applications. It'll be a few months before you hear from us, but we're opening them up. So go ahead and get your applications in. What I tell folks is you are more than welcome to apply for more than one thing. You're more than welcome to apply multiple times. You're more than welcome to apply for multiple positions. As a matter of fact, we encourage it, because if you are the bee's knees at podcast interviewing, and we have 800 bees knees of podcast interviewing, including people like maybe Dave Jackson or somebody like that, they might get that spot, but maybe you have something even more amazing about guesting and how you did XYZ with that, or how you make your guesting help your brand stand out even further without paying extra money, or you know what I'm saying? So be creative, those types of things. So that is open as well.
Let me throw one quick thing in there too. Spanish language track.
Yes. We always have a bilingual track when people submit their presentations. We had one bilingual track presentation this year. So we always have a bilingual track, which we did not have this year. So please, if you do that, please let us know that as well. That was sad that we could not. We always do. So we love that. And other languages as well. If you have something else and you want to try it and do it, let's talk about what that looks like. And so then the next on the list there was our Facebook group. I think everybody kind of talked about how to connect with us. So you can apply to be in our Facebook group. It's just can we get in? You're just going to say that we won't blast anybody or do anything like that. It is not a self-promotion format. It is not the place where you're going to go in there and say, share my top episodes. This is the place where you're going and say, hey, I need help knowing how to run StreamYard live stream. Does anybody know? Can anybody help me do that? And 80,000 people will say, I will help you, and I will show up and do it for you, most likely. But that's our Facebook. That's our PodFam. Our newsletter, Podfest Messenger, I put the link there. That's amazing. Larry does that. It's a weekly newsletter. It comes out. And then my information. So there's my email, wendy@podfestexpo.com, or you can find me on LinkedIn as well. So you guys use us as your resources. Again, I'm not kidding. The comedy track, the open mic night, for example, was an idea that Kimbrough came to us 3 or 4 years ago, and said, can we do something with comedy? And there's a lot of people that do comedy, and how can we do this? And I said, yes, what does that look like to you? And we created a comedy track, and we have an open mic night. And whether or not the comedy track itself stays and continues to grow, I think open mic night is something that will probably be there to stay, or something like that. So this is, our community builds our event, and that's why it feels like home. So
love it.
And I did the stand-up thing. I did not want to do it, which is the reason why I applied to do it, right? Because as we say, good things happen when you say yes.
He was hilarious.
And I will just say that you will learn a ton of stuff at Podfest. The people that you meet will help you so much. I did a video, it went viral. Now all these modeling agencies are calling me. I don't know if I'm ready for the runway, but they said, Scott, we need more before models.
He's got it. The runway, not runaway.
You're getting funnier all the time, Scott.
Real quick, go to my LinkedIn, not for me. I'm going to put all the links that Wendy gave you and put them there. And if you have questions, I'll send you to whoever she wants to send you to. Well, we want to make sure you experience this. You know me, I'm the anti-sales guy, but you don't, it's like, it's almost to me like saying, I'm selling the cure for cancer. You share that, right? You don't sell kindness. You share that too. And this falls under that category, right? The more, the merrier. I mean, honestly, we don't have 100 hounds running there next year. Something's wrong. All right. Maybe 1,000, but we'll see.
And let me just quickly throw that picture that you have right up there. Military Creator Con. It's going to be in Dallas. My radio show is now a sponsor of Military Creator Con. I will be there, and it was incubated at Podfest. If you want to learn more, send Wendy a message, because there is a giving heart there that you would not believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. And Mike, if I can jump in and just tell everybody, we're going to continue, Scott and you and I, tomorrow night at 4 p.m. on Russ Reels Live, talking about Podfest tomorrow and showing some more highlights. So just wanted to plug that while we were on here, because I just love this family.
And you're more than welcome to share those links, Russ, you guys, with your community as well. Just, explain about the replays so that they understand. It'll be about a few weeks, it'll be a month or so before they get them, but it does include a creator pass for 2027 at a price that our creator pass doesn't even go on sale for that low. I don't even know what it is right now, because but whatever, it doesn't go on that low. So
that's amazing. And just to kind of piggyback on what Scott said, Scott, you're going to be at the military con. Well, I'm going to be there too, interviewing military members and veterans as well. So I'll see you on the floor.
Fabulous.
I will also say, for Military Creator Con, those are our dear friends, VP and Mara. And yes, that event was incubated. So was Dental Podfest and Dr. Podfest that we also held this year at our event. They had private events at our event. But VP and Mara are just amazing, amazing people. And I'm a military brat. And so VP's like, Wendy, why aren't you coming to our event? And I said, well, I probably will, VP. But yeah, just being, I'm a military creator as well. I never even thought about it in that way, because I was not in the military, but I am. So military adjacent. So it's not, it's for everybody. It will be a podcasting conference for everybody, not just military folks, is what I'm trying to get apart.
All right. If you need to bounce, I know it's 8. I don't care personally. We got a lot of good shorts. I'm going to put this out there, but I had to share before I share Kevin's letter, and I might close with that. I'll just close with that because I want to make sure I put that out. You guys will see that on LinkedIn and elsewhere as well, because it's very heartfelt. And I want to make sure we get it. But here's the thing, because I can. That's when it comes to the military. I'm like the redneck John Cena, man. Like whatever, right? So I got to the last booth and with all the booths, saw these guys. And I was like, okay, Merry Christmas. Well, Ed over here, the guy on the far right, if you're looking at the screen, what is he, 83, 84? Amazing guy. Hey, cooking. He's out here trying to figure out how to do his podcast to the next level and build a business and all this stuff. I'm like, my goodness, if I ever had the right room. So I was talking to these amazing people, and Ed walked up, and I just said, hey, let's cut the stuff, Ed. I said, Merry Christmas. What do you want? If I got it, it's yours. If I don't have it, I know somebody probably does. And again, that wasn't performative. It was just, that's me. I just look at this guy. He's amazing. I heard him speak. It was done. I love people who serve the country. I love people who serve after it. And that was very touching. And then, he had made a kind comment that he probably didn't know I heard. And that is the most organic thing. If I sent this man a DM, he probably pepper sprayed me over Zoom. He may not have got it, right? Blah, blah, blah. I showed up. I said something meaningful. I didn't want nothing. Who knows where that's going to take us, right? And that's what I want you all to get. This ain't woo-woo, right? And is it profitable? Oh, yeah, it is. But be patient. You don't plant a seed and yell at it, and it doesn't grow overnight. But, boy, if you take care of it, you got giant tomato plants, right? We're farming here. So not to get preachy, I just wanted to say, Leo York, I was waiting for Russ Hedges. You about to die, wasn't you? Leo, man, this guy lives 45 minutes from me, and we ain't never connected. We had to go to Orlando to meet. And, amazing guy. I mean, again, helping people out, and I could go on and on and on. Russ, I know you want to say something, right? Because Leo's your guy, right?
Oh man, I tell you, Leo, what an amazing friend, and helped me out tremendously, because this was such an amazing event, but because of my health situation, I could not make those hours. And my good friend, Mr. D. Scott Smith, said, hey, our buddy Leo's going to be there, and had a room right there at the hotel conference center. So I was able to go up, take a couple hour nap in between things, come back full steam, because I love to show up really with energy. Like that's me, but for those kind of hours, no way I could do that. So what a blessing. So Leo, such an amazing guy. And that's what it's all about, helping each other out.
Absolutely. Well, anybody got anything you want to add? You want to share something on your heart? You want to give a shout out? Anything goes here. Whatever. If open mic, open floor. I could go on and on. I mean, I met a guy that, he's just now coming out. He's been through a lot. He's been in incarceration. And after a little mild heart attack, I connected with this person, and we're going to be doing things together. It's like, hey, because that's what the mic's for. Other people think they're alone. They think something's wrong with them. Ain't no, that's inspiration, right? They might hear a therapist say it, might go in one ear out the other. They hear you say it, they relate to you, man, that can be life changing, right? So I mean, it was just nonstop. Anybody want to share before I just keep going again?
Well, I'm going to say first that, and I put this in the comments earlier, isolation is a killer. And when you do what we do, a lot of times your friends and family, they don't understand. They don't know what it means. And you need to surround yourself with people who will not let you fail. And the Hounds of Business come here every week to the happy hour. Come to the tea break. We meet once a month on the third Friday of the month, except this month because last week we were all having a great time keeping Russ up at night. But make sure that you find a community. And if it may be the Hounds, it may be in the tea break, it may be the Pod Fam community, but do not try to do this alone. And I encourage you, find somebody that you meet with at least once a week. And I'll just tell you a highlight of my time at Podfest. So for 4 years, I was a part of a mastermind community called Iron Sharpens Iron, which was founded by Aaron Walker, or as he says, Aaron Walker. He's a good Tennessee man, Southern gentleman. And he was in a mastermind with some people that you might know, like Michael Hyatt and Dave Ramsey and Dan Miller. And those men, when they came together, not one of them was Dan Miller. Not one of them was Michael Hyatt. Not one of them was Dave Ramsey. They grew into that together. And at the, and I'll get through this, but at the Hall of Fame, man, Dave Ramsey posthumously inducted his friend Dan Miller into the Podcast Hall of Fame. And I cannot imagine what the emotions were for that. But there were some things that I wanted to do at Podfest. And I brought a copy of The Common Path to Uncommon Success, written by John Lee Dumas. I wanted to extract some ink from him. And I was able to chase him down and get him to sign that book. I brought Lean Learning by Pat Flynn, and I wanted him to sign the book. He made the right choice. He had to choose family over traveling, although he remoted in and does a fabulous job, by the way, doing his remote presentation. So when and I wanted him to sign the book, but he wasn't there. So when I had John Lee Dumas sign his book, I asked, could you write a message to your friend Pat Flynn that he will see next year when I have him sign the book? And he did that. Okay. So this is friendship. These guys know each other. They do not operate in isolation. Afterwards, the other thing that I wanted to do, and this is on my list, I got to shake hands with Dave Ramsey and say, thank you.
Wow.
Thank you for changing my life. Thank you for changing the lives of millions of people. And I got to tell him the first time I heard this Southern gentleman's voice on the radio, and tell him how that impacted my life and some significant decisions that I made around jobs, because I said I was looking for a job. I was only offered one job. I'm selling insurance. I did not want to sell insurance, and but I accepted it. And I went out to lunch with a friend of mine and said, because if I had a chance to have lunch with Dave Ramsey, and he says, hey, Scott, what's going on in your life? I said, well, I'm looking for a job. Well, how's it going? Well, I only got one job offer, but I don't want to sell insurance. I did not want to say, I didn't want to face Dave Ramsey and have that conversation. So these are the kinds of things that happen when you say yes. Good things happen when you say yes. Buy the tickets for Podfest. Get involved with the Hounds of Business. Join the tea break. Create your own mastermind group. Whatever you do, do not try to do this alone.
Hey, well,
And Scott, really fast, thank you for saying all those things. And the thing too, and thank you, Mike, for putting that up on the screen. So this is a part of a screen of some of our speakers, and it's just populating. There were a lot of them. We put all of our speakers on our website. And then we even put some of the private event speakers on our website. I think that's Jared. That's Dan Miller's son right there. Oh yeah, Jared and Kevin. There's Kevin Angaza and Kevin Miller. That's Dan Miller's sons, two of Dan Miller's sons. But anyways, what I tell folks to do is when the speakers start to go up, we tell people, scour the page, look for those people, that's when you start your intentionality about, oh my gosh, Kate Erickson's going to be there. There she is right there. Or Katie Kremitzos. And I want to talk to that person and I want to meet that person. And Scott, that's exactly what you do. You set the intention. And I tell you at Podfest, it can happen. Pat Flynn will be there next year. He was so disappointed, but he said, can I come back next year? So we already have Pat coming back. But yeah, and go through and find these people and what do you have common with? And oh my gosh, this person's going to be there and I want to pick their brain about XYZ and that's what it's for. And that's what people expect at Podfest. They expect that it's no problem to walk up to John Lee Dumas. I'm surprised you just find him at the bar and just say, hey, John, can you sign this? And of course he would. And they're fabulous. So that's how you can really have some intentionality and really make your trip worthwhile by not only knowing the sessions you want to attend, but the people that you want to meet. And we put all that there for you so that you can show up ready to go and ready to meet the folks that you want to meet and do what you want to do.
All right, folks. Well, we're going to wrap up. Don't leave yet because this is going to be just as good. All right. So I'm going to go through and I'll close with Kevin's letter because it's no words needs to follow that letter, y'all. Y'all know how Kevin is, man. He writes like his heart is, So, and I'm going to end with you, Vanessa, because I want to give a special shout out with you for somebody who impressed me. Just, kind of like Zach, like, wow, like I want to be like that when I grow up, kind of thing. So, all right, take it away. 15 seconds, Russ. What word of wisdom, what inspiration can you give our amazing listeners? Hounds, thank you for showing up. Friends of the Hounds, Global Tea Break. Yes. Hey, thank you. Right. Thank you. I hope you were blessed by this. So Russ, take it away.
Well, first of all, just love this whole discussion. Podfest was amazing. Connecting and community building is what I'm all about because people are awesome. And the opportunity to be friends with all of you, to come together, be part of this, I am just so blessed, so thankful. And looking forward to next year already. Scott and I hit number 2 and 3 on the list there of the things that we've already got our entry next year. So we're good for that. So we're excited. But no, I'm just blessed. And Wendy, thank you so much for being an amazing hostess. Loved it. Mike, thanks for having me on tonight. As always, you're a blessing. And look forward to seeing you again tomorrow on Russ Reels Live, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Everybody join in. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have more pictures, videos, some fun stuff. Maybe a little bit of Scott stand-up tomorrow.
My goodness. Well, speaking of D. Scott Smith, your turn, brother.
And I think I said a lot here. And again, just join the community. Be a part. You have something to offer. And the deal is that if you do not participate in Podfest, in the Hounds of Business, in the community, you are withholding valuable information that you have synthesized inside your brain. Don't be stingy. Join up. Yeah,
it's not about us. That somebody has to wave the stick at the orchestra, but the orchestra has to show up, and that's you. You're the people making this happen, and it's a win-win. So, Michael Binko, Kindness Worldwide. I saw you. I don't talk about me for good reason. It's just not my style, and it doesn't work when I do it. But I did. I seen you over there, spreading kindness, letting people know things, and that's you. You're a special guy. So 15 seconds, man. What do you want folks to know and take away?
Thank you, Mike. I'll just remind, answer this question for yourself and make the second half a statement. What if? Why not? Show up. Be there for others, be there for yourself. And just a quick lift up to Wendy specifically, once again, for a last minute accommodation for Kindness Worldwide. Such a nice, our gratitude overflows, and we look forward to next year.
Without question. Well said, my friend. All right. Before we end the parting words on Wendy and close with Kevin's heartfelt letter, and because I don't need to cry no more. There's too many onions all week anyway. So, Vanessa, what would you like to share? And then who would you like to say hi to? And,
I was about to say, heck yes, I'm sorry. So first and foremost, I took away, and I take away this every day, that if we move with mindfulness, right? And someone in the chat already said the word intentionality. We are intentionally putting ourselves in these places and with these people. And sometimes, whether we know it or not, we are in these spaces for a reason, to connect with one another. And so I took so much away from Podfest and every day, and from knowing each of you every day henceforth has been amazing. And so I am just incredibly thankful and grateful to the folks at Podfest, and also you guys here as well. I want to shout out Alex Sanfilippo and Alicia Sanfilippo with Podmatch, because if not for them, I wouldn't have met all of you and have had the honor to get to know you and see all the fine folks at Podfest. Alex and Alicia are probably the only CEOs that I know of that lift and elevate and inspire and commune with their podcasters on their platform on a daily basis. And I've known them for a few years and participated through a different docuseries and my show, and they've just been tremendous. And for them to sponsor bringing me to Podfest was tremendous, and I can't thank them enough. I always say, you know, my success is theirs, and it's been tremendous to know them. But above all, I just can't wait to see what happens in 2026, not just for us, but also for all the other creatives and podcasters and everyone that's wishing to create or share their message, whatever it is. I feel like it's a fire in your belly that just has to come out somehow, and it will. It definitely will. And someone that I interviewed today said it best when I was telling them about Podfest, and I said, never have I been in such a space where I just felt seen or received or heard or just really loved on by people that were just like me, or different variations, you know, some more louder and crazier than others, but just all together gorgeous and just amazing humans. And my friend looks at me in the camera and says, well, you're kind of at a event for people like you. So it's kind of, but it was more than that. It was an amazing experience, and all of you are just awesome humans. So thank you so much for being awesome.
Absolutely. And I'll give my little country 2 cents real quick, because Wendy, well, first, D. Scott Smith, you know, you opened doors, you made introductions, right? You gave this gas leak an opportunity to do his thing. And for that, ever grateful, right? And the blessings that came from that, I could, like saying, dude, uncountable. Russ, you are the real deal. You're the same online as in person. You're even more awesome in person. Couldn't hear half of what I said, but he smiled and nodded. And y'all know me. I like to talk. I don't care if you hear it. Just smile at me. And we deepened that relationship. Vanessa, wow, you were an extra happy surprise. Really. It's like the stork just dropped another friend out of the sky. And Michael, man, meeting you and Kevin in person. Isn't it wild how you meet people and you work with them for a couple of years online and you never met? And it was no weirdness. You meet in person, you just pick up where you left off. Unbelievable. And I couldn't think of anywhere place better to do it. And give a shout out to Alex Sanfilippo, his team. You know, I don't want to say anything wrong, but you know, I love people who are still down to earth, no matter how successful, how much of an impact, no matter how many people know them. I mean, if you met him at the grocery store, he's a regular guy. Also, like Zach, that's what I like to be as I accelerate. You know, that was my personal mushy takeaway. It's the God's honest truth. We all have people we look up to and heroes, and I've got more than I can count. So all of you, and Wendy, hey, you know, you said yes, you know, and thank you for that, because you've seen the hounds, you've seen the friends, you've seen the you know, these are a lot of folks from the Global Tea Break and Russ and everyone else. Look what you did. So we're going to clap for you one more time, because you are you, and you made this special for us. Give it up. Boom.
Thank you. You guys are it. We just made the space.
There we go. So I'm going to read Kevin's letter, and we'll call it a day, because if we don't, anybody want to stay till midnight, I'm game. All right, I'm ready to go. So,
and I know he can do it.
Yeah, well, after
I tested him.
Yeah, it was like a happy boot camp with D. Scott. All right, so
I rode you hard. And
you did. But hey, I was a little soft. You know, there was a pea under my mattress. You know, and the story, the princess and the pea, and now I'm back to redneck. Thank you.
Well, maybe you do that, a marathon. You know, a marathon event where we raise funds and just stay on all night.
Hey, we'll call it the country-a-thon or something. We'll figure it out. We'll brainstorm it. All right. So let me read this before I just mess up the whole show with my nonsense. All right, y'all. Kevin Smith. Here's his letter. Kevin, if you're out there and you're listening, check your wallet, bro. Please do that. All right. So, my dear friends, I'm sorry I wasn't able to join you tonight, but Mike, Michael, and all the Podfest can vouch for what I've maintained all along. There is magic in our midst and miracles as our destiny. The momentum of the movement of kindness worldwide is building, and its energy is palpable. For the longest time, I struggled to get others to see what I see. As to the potential of this movement to create meaningful impact and sustainable change. Now, there is a feature film for audiences to see it before their own eyes. The reviews for such a time as this, the documentary, speak for themselves. The film not only moves you, but changes you as you become more immersed into its story. A story that was always destined to be ours from the beginning. I'm humbled by the journey it has been. It's not something I asked for nor wished for. All I wanted to say was thank you, right, in a more meaningful way. It then miraculously evolved into a means to make a meaningful difference. I don't ask for much. I just try to do and give what I've got. But I humbly ask for each of you to do but one thing. Please pray for me and my wife, Ann. This movement is bigger than both of us, and a burden of a calling we never imagined. Yet we know it's a call we must answer and a burden we must bear. If I may, I might also ask you to go the extra mile to accommodate, but one more humble request. Please, please, just strive always to, quote, be the reason someone believes in the goodness of people. If we each do just that, our world would change instantly. The transformative power of kindness is a power we each possess within us. It merely requires a choice to unleash its vast superpowers. Please do. Thank you. I hope you feel the love from which my heartfelt gratitude is conveyed. I am richly blessed for countless reasons. Among them is the blessing of your friendships and support. With kindness, Kevin. Hey, that says it all. We love you guys. Reach out. Don't be shy. No stranger danger. You have a passion that you keep pushing down, and that stuff keeps popping up like whack-a-mole. Dadgummit. Test drive the hounds. If we're not a good fit, we'll send you somewhere else. Go check out Podfest. Go Global Tea Break. No stranger danger. All right. And yes, you can be shy, only for a little bit. We're going to Sadie Hawkins. We'll grab your arm, put you on the dance floor. You'll love it. Don't worry about it.
And I want to make sure that people know you're using the right conjunction. It's not podcast or Podfest or Hounds or Global Tea Break, or it's and. The conjunction is and. Join Podfest and join Hounds of Business and join the Global Tea Break.
Thank you for that, because, and real quick, that's a good point. If you look at that and go, wow, we're like you, call me, right? Call me, DM us, because that's it. We want to make a snowball effect. We want to build a bigger ecosystem, making things affordable and accessible out there, guys. This is more than just making money. Nothing wrong with it. But we're talking about helping kids with underserved communities. If all of us, people with, these kind of hearts, we'll buy them all a coat. And like that's what this is about. Maybe homelessness, etc. Right? Come, be supported. You come as yourself. You're going to leave as your best self. Well, you're not going to leave. But that's the whole point of this, folks. And I saw it point blank. And Lord willing, I'm going to see it through. I don't care what challenges lie ahead. This is the grenade. I'm laying on it. This will be done. And I couldn't think of any better people to usher in the new year and a new movement together than you all. So, and that goes for anybody in this comments and anybody watching, anybody who just has any part of making this possible. I love you to death, and this is our year. That's not a mantra. It is done. Be good, y'all. Wave. I'm going to leave. I'm going to start your show.
Thank you,
everybody. Be good. Where's them buttons at? There it is. Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.